even if you do all the work, even if you do most tasks, the company doesn't belong to you. It belongs to other people. And one thing I picked from the book of Mel Robbins, because it talks about letting them be, is even if you do whatever you want to do in this world, people will always find faults. Now, the remaining time is not much, so you want to prioritize from work what else is more important to me.
Okay.
Because there are areas you can cut down on your time. So that probably we say if it's family, after work, you know, on Saturday, or probably after work on Saturday afternoon, I can have time with my family. We have a meaningful conversation. And when you have that time, it must be quality, because you realize you don't have much time.
Yes.
Then now you have friends, probably you can be intentional about it. It's not every function you have to attend.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to Psychologist Voice Kenya. My name is Helen, and today we discuss mental health issues in the workplace. We have with us a fantastic guest. Her name is Dr. Susan Nkanata. She is our HR professional, and she's going to be taking us through issues that can affect the mental health of people in the workplace. Welcome, Dr. Susan.
Thank you so much, Helen.
Yes. As we start off, please tell us more about yourself. Who is Dr. Susan?
Okay, my name is Dr. Susan Kanata.
Yes.
I am a PhD holder in
Yes.
human resource management. I'm also a certified human resource professional
Yes.
with the Institute of Human Resource Management.
Okay.
I do teach in a university.
Yes.
And I also do HR consultancy for organizations.
Okay.
I set up HR departments and mentor upcoming HR professionals.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's really good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So today you'll be helping us understand the workplace more and also connecting it with mental health issues. And to start us off, what are some likely issues that are likely to affect the mental health of people stemming from their workplace?
Yeah, there are many issues that can affect employees, both employees and also management at the workplace.
Okay.
Because of course the workplace is combined of both everyone, even the managers, even the junior, the seniors, all of them are staff.
Yes.
And therefore we have issues like when we have high work overruns.
Okay.
That someone has too much to do and they are not able to complete within the tight deadline.
Yes.
Then we also have issues of lack of support from the supervisors. Sometimes someone may feel they're not being supported and that can cause work stress.
Okay.
We have poor work-life integration, or what they call work-life balance, whereby you're not able to juggle between work and your personal life.
Let me stop you there first. Those three you've mentioned. Let me focus a bit on your work-life balance. That was also your area of study for your PhD. So work-life balance, how does it affect somebody in their workplace?
Work-life balance is simply being able to balance your other areas of life with the work.
Okay.
And so when you have an imbalanced work-life balance, for instance, you're not able to have time for your family, you're not able to do your personal stuff, not able to develop yourself, it projects to the workplace.
Okay.
Because sometimes you find people have personal issues that are unresolved.
Yes.
Or they are fatigued because they are not able to balance all those.
Yes.
Therefore, it projects to the workplace, and that causes a little bit of even strained relationship between the person and the staff.
How is somebody able to know if they have work-life balance or if they don't have work-life balance?
It's simply looking at the various aspects of life. You know, like we have the wheel of life. So looking at that wheel and looking and seeing whether you are able to really do every part of that wheel. The wheel has career, we have family, we have social life, we have work, and we also have other aspects like finances and all that. So it's looking at that all those aspects that of life and seeing whether you are able to create time for each of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, we may not have 50-50 balance, but one can be able to integrate all those aspects into their life.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in case somebody is having that imbalance, how does this affect them?
Of course, they have fatigue, because sometimes if you're doing, probably you are overdoing, you find you don't have time to rest. So you are probably overstaying at work, going home, then again you extend, then you find you're not resting. Now that fatigue will eventually turn to burnout. And then now you find you're not performing at your workplace.
You're not productive at your workplace.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you've mentioned overload.
Yes. Sometimes there's too much pressure in workplaces to meet, won't call them unrealistic deadlines, or if they are realistic, then someone could have been given much work that they're not able to manage. So it is important that you realize how, and as an employee, you know, how far can I be able to go?
Okay.
If not able, then seek for help.
Okay.
Don't agree to everything. No, you have to learn to say no.
Okay.
In a, of course, respectful way.
Yes. So, if somebody is having the work overload and it's affecting them, in terms of mental health, what will they likely be experiencing or seeing? How will this manifest in them?
They will have, of course, the issue of emotional overload, as in someone feels like they are left out, and so they can withdraw. They can even have strained work relationship with their colleagues, because now when you feel like you are neglected at the workplace because you are doing too much, and probably you are thinking other people are not doing it. So it's likely to make you feel emotionally drained, as well as physically drained. And then it gives you fatigue.
Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes we normally see what we would call like emotional dysregulation. Somebody is just emotionally all over. Could that be because of being overloaded from work? They emotionally either they can't tell what's going on. So at some point they are very angry, what you call emotional outbursts. At some point they're angry, they're frustrated. Yes.
Yeah, it could be because of work, because sometimes probably you have tried even to seek help from the supervisors and they have failed. And so you feel overwhelmed. You feel like you are left alone, like you are the only one who is in that company. It can cause the emotional outburst and make someone even, you cannot understand them. They're happy now. So I think it's important for employees to know how much they can do.
Okay.
And be honest with their supervisors.
Okay.
Because until you say you are not able to do this, you will always be given work to do. And probably you are the most capable person in that organization. So if they realize you are able to do work, then they continue to overload you. So it's important to reach a point and say, yes, sir, I will do, but I may not manage to finish today.
Okay.
Yeah, just be honest with your supervisors.
And back to the work-life balance, because we spend most of our working hours in the place of work, the daytime hours. Maybe you report to work in the 8 a.m. and you leave at 5 p.m. and you're there maybe from Monday, some up to Saturday. So the amount of time somebody spends in the workplace is a lot. A very big chunk of your life. And then there's a bigger part of somebody that is outside the workplace. There's family, there's friends, there's social life, there's personal growth, etc. So just again having that in mind, again back to that issue of work-life balance, but I think it's a very critical one. That with the fact that many more hours are spent in the workplace, and the most productive hours of the day, I would say that.
Yes.
And then somebody also has a very demanding life outside of work. How does somebody actually strike that balance? That from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm in the office. From Monday to Saturday I'm in the office. And yet there are other things that are calling for my attention.
Yeah, it can be a challenge, but you have to be intentional about it. Now, the remaining time is not much. So you want to prioritize from work, what else is more important to me?
Okay.
Because there are areas you can cut down on your time. So that probably we say if it's family, after work, you know, on Saturday or probably after work, on Saturday afternoon, I can have time with my family. We have a meaningful conversation. And when you have that time, it must be quality because you realize you don't have much time.
Yes.
Then now you have friends. Friends, probably you can be intentional about it. It's not every function you have to attend.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then be a good time manager. Like you plan things. You don't just use the whole day in something that is not adding value to you.
Okay.
So I think it's just about priority.
Okay.
It's prioritizing what is important to me and then being able to allocate time as appropriate.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I want to bring up something that happens. It's seemingly increasing in the workplace, and it's both an issue of work and an issue of mental health. The issues of people are having issues to do with stress and with burnout. Yeah, and you mentioned that work overload can contribute to this. So sometimes people normally wonder, I'm feeling very stressed. I'm feeling like I have burnout. What do I do from there? What can somebody do when they feel this is too much for me? I'm really stressed. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Even having reached the place of burnout, what can they do? What can somebody do?
It is always good to be self-aware of yourself.
Okay.
How much can I do? What can I take? So if you feel completely overwhelmed and you're in a place of, I can't take it anymore, I believe it's important to take leave.
Okay.
Just request for a leave out of a few days, go rest.
Okay.
And then rejuvenate and then come back to work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's important to always be true to self. Yes. Not to please the people out there, but to know yourself.
Okay.
You know, the order of let them theory.
Okay.
Let them. You just have to know you. How much can my energy go? Yeah.
I like that. That's, you know yourself, so you know your capacity. And then also knowing when is your body telling you this is the extent to which I have. And that's why we have leave days.
Yes,
that you can take some time away from work and go and get some rest.
Yeah, and even weekends you can purpose to rest. You don't have to participate in all activities. Me, I say even in a church setup, it is not all activities you can participate. It's going to be self-aware of yourself and really know you. That is very, very important. Yes, for every person. So that you are not everywhere. Yes.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, you are left breaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So being aware is very critical.
Very, very.
And also having that balance between where you must be and where you don't have to be.
Yes, it's very, very important.
Okay.
Very important.
Okay.
Yes.
And the employer-employee relations, another critical aspect of workplace dynamics.
Yes.
And being able to just understand some aspects that cause mental health are employee-related, and some are from the employer. Just help us shed some more light on that.
Everyone has a responsibility towards mental health. The employee has a responsibility towards their mental health, and the employer has a responsibility to offer a supportive work environment where there are less mental health issues. So when we look at the employee has a responsibility to set boundaries. As I said, they have to set boundaries. And where can I go? Where I can't go? What can I do? What can't I do? So that then they know. The self-awareness repeats itself now again, because for you to set boundaries, you must know you. Then now we have a responsibility of also peer support as employees. We can be able to support each other. When during breaks, we can discuss what are you going through in your department? What am I going through in my department? And that one can ease the burden. And because you realize I'm not the only one, probably always going through the stress or the pressures of the work. Then the other thing we need to know is to know how to communicate. Don't just stay in isolation. Just communicate that to your supervisor or to whoever is in charge that I have been trying to do this, but I need help. It is not wrong to ask for help. Yeah, it is good to ask for help. And I think any reasonable manager should be able to understand that.
Okay.
So that they help in delegating those duties that you are not able to finish. Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Good. And
then
now,
for the employer, they need to support the employees.
Okay.
Offer a conducive environment that is not toxic. They are toxic environments. So you offer a conducive environment where people are free to engage. Then also we train our supervisors on how to recognize a stressed person. Or how can I identify someone who has burnout? Or how can I start a conversation as a manager to help an employee who has burnout? Because that is very, very important again. Because we could be having burnouts and supervisors even themselves have the burnout. So even themselves, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to help them. So we must create awareness as the employer. So and ensure that the supervisors or the managers are aware of what to do in the event they realize there's a staff who is stressed or have some issues.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And on the same line, I want us to delve a bit more on what we call employee assistance programs, whereby increasingly there's need for companies to have employee assistance programs. What are possible ways that employee assistance programs come in, on how do they work and help employees in the workplace?
Yes, employee assistance programs are important, but more so what is important is the implementation. Because, many organizations have just policies in the drawers, but then they have not implemented them to help the staff. So it's important that we create employee awareness programs, of course, that are tailored to the organization or what the organization can be able to afford. And then create awareness to the staff that there are such policies and people can seek help with this. Probably there is an office for counseling or other programs that could be there for the organization. Yeah, it's good that companies have them, but more so then they need to implement. So they don't just draft EAP programs and policies, then they put them in drawers.
Okay.
Yes.
So what does that look like? What does it look like when there's that assistance for employees when it's actually being implemented? What does that look like?
It looks like when people speak out their issues, managers or the management is intentional about assisting them. So we have people who feel like they are very fatigued. We allow them to go for the leave or we allow them to go for the off. Then we also need to, these are the basics, the simple ones that we can be able to do. We can even ensure that we delegate well. We don't overwhelm one staff with a lot of work, whereas the other people that can be trained and do the same work. Then we also need to ensure like their counseling. Probably we can, if we do not have a counselor in the organization, we can organize for one to be coming to offer therapies to those staff who want to be spoken to. Then for the extreme cases, if the organization is able, they can do rehabs. Rehabilitation programs. Yes, for the employees. Yes. And then creating awareness, trying to speak to the staff, and then empowering managers so much so that they are able to continually speak to the staff, listen to the issues of the staff. Because most of the things that cause stress, sometimes even they are not really work-related. People carry burdens from wherever. They come now, the pressure of work combined, it makes them get the mental health. So what mental health issues? So what we need to do is to really have people who can listen to staff and have people who are understanding.
So I'm hearing you say that the current manager goes beyond the supervisory role, the duties that they are assigned.
Yes.
There's more that is required of them.
Yes, because even in the HR profession, the current HR is not the implementer only of the EAP. He's the chief well-being officer.
I like that, chief well-being officer.
Yes, because you cannot be implementing, lighting things for people that you are not yourself doing. So the current manager should be a well-being officer, someone who does not only delegate roles, but is able to detect when people need to be helped. Yes. Because you realize we are shifting. Now having many generations in the workplaces, there are so many needs. So every manager needs to understand the diverse needs of every generation.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big role.
Yeah,
but it's possible. And maybe just help me understand. So if I'm a manager and I have the employees I'm supervising, and you've not said you've said the term is a well-being officer. So enhancing or looking at the well-being of this person. I think sometimes managers, they can be very good at their jobs, but beyond the actual work, somebody might wonder now if, say, Helen or Susan comes to me with a family issue, or maybe I know they are going through a particular issue. They wonder, they don't know what to do about that. So what is something somebody can do that, yes, they may be concerned, but they are stuck in terms of what do I actually do?
That's why the awareness is important.
Okay.
And in the event they feel that they cannot be able to handle it, then they refer.
But just so that they're aware. What are some things somebody can do? Maybe they hear someone in the workplace maybe has an illness or they have a family issue. How can they show concern or support that person?
The first thing is to listen to that person, understand where their problems are.
So listen to them.
Yes, it is very, very important to offer a listening here. You know, sometimes even it can solve the problem because probably that person was looking for someone just to listen to them.
And I know, like in counseling, in the field that I'm in, listening is one of the most powerful things we do. Just listening to somebody and giving them time for them to pour out their issues. Yes, we're seeing the same thing for the manager, being able to listen to somebody when they come to you.
Yes, and not, work it's going to prioritize work, but they shouldn't prioritize the well-being of the people working. Because until that officer who is working is well, that is when they can be productive. But you find most of them prioritize meeting deadlines over the well-being of people. And that is now where the problem is. Yeah.
So I'm hearing you say being able to realize that this person I'm working with, beyond them having this knowledge or skill, they are actually a human being. And they are likely to have issues affecting them beyond the workplace. Yes.
In human resource, we say understand the H.
Understand the H.
The H in human resource. Yes, because it means you being human. As you implement the policies, yes, you will, but remember the H, which is being human. Yes.
So being able to listen to the people, it's a really key one, I think. Just being able to offer a listening ear. And then being able to say this person, beyond them having the duties they have at their work, they are also a human being.
Yes. And and they have challenges. As much as you, the manager, have the challenges, they also have their challenges that they're going through. So being able to, of course, you may not be able to solve all the problems because some of them is just a matter of guiding or probably advising on how someone can be able to manage them. Because if you were to listen to everything, then work may not be done. But then we need at least to listen and see how we can be able to manage the situation. Yes.
There's something you mentioned, and I want to just shift to that a little bit. There's an increasing shift in the workplace. What is happening?
There is the multiple generations that are in the workplace right now. We have millennials, we have the other former generation, and now we have the Gen Zs. So we have a multiple, and in a few years we have the Alpha coming in. So now we have shifted because the needs of Gen XY, the needs of millennials, and the needs of Gen Zs are different. The way we used to see work, them they see it different. And now, for work to be done, the manager must understand the needs or the strengths and weaknesses of one generations, so that then they can be able to leverage on the strengths of each for the work to be done. In a few years, we will have Gen Zs dominating the workplace because people will continue to retire. The Ys, the millennials. So then we will have the Gen Zs become the managers. So are we molding them? Are we mentoring them to become? Yes. Because they also be the next leaders of this country.
And they actually already are.
Yeah.
Yes, they already are.
Yeah, that is the shift.
Okay.
The way they have been brought up,
Mm-hmm.
the way millennials were brought up, and the
Mm-hmm.
other generation is different.
Okay.
So they value different things.
Okay.
Yes.
A key part of work and the generations is the motivation. The things which motivate somebody in Gen Z to perform and deliver at work, the things which motivate somebody who's a millennial, who's the other generations to perform at work, and how that also affects their mental health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What could you say about that?
For us to be able to help in mental health for different generations, first is to understand what they value most. Because when you look, for example, at Gen Zs, they value hybrid work. They do not understand why you are keeping them from 8 to 5. Whereas I can do my work within 2 hours, then go.
So the hybrid is being able to work from home or resource or remote working.
Yeah, you can blend it.
Yes.
But then you can have them work for a few hours, then go to do other things. To them, they value their time.
Okay.
So if you give them laws, they must be specific and well clarified, so that they know what to do. For a millennial, probably they value other things, and it can cause them stress. You know what you value and you're not finding someone understanding it, then it can cause you stress. So the most important thing is for managers now to shift from the traditional leadership and be a bit flexible.
Okay.
Realizing that they have to blend all these people for work to be done. For example, a Gen Z will not understand why you are not using technology to do some stuff that you do paperwork the whole day, and you can use technology to do that work within a few hours. So it calls for a culture shift in organizations, which may not be easy.
Okay.
But we have to accept it because the era is with us and it's reshaping how work is being done. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of the mental health issues, with the different generations, do they present different mental health issues?
Yes, they have. As I said, because you see, for a millennial, they would have issues to mental health, probably because they value family so much, they value other things so much. So when they don't go as the way they want, they may have mental health issues.
Yes.
For Gen Z, when they come to work and you're not clear on what you want them to do, and probably you are the manager who is always shouting and all that, it may cause them mental health. So the mental health issues is when what you value is not respected.
Okay.
That's what could cause it at the workplace.
Okay.
And you feel like these people are not understanding. So there must be proper communication of the different expectations that these people have to the different generation. And they must understand the language of communication. You know, they are saying, there was a very interesting discussion I attended last week, of agencies don't even value emails, but their way of communication is different. At a certain company said that they record the short videos and they send for them to be able to understand faster. So being able to communicate with the language that each generation understands. Yes, it's very, very important. And also involving them to understand what would make you comfortable here, what would make you have sound mind when you are working, involving them to understand them. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing out of the need to shift, the need to embrace the dynamic generations. So the opposite of that would mean sort of like having a rigidity, a rigid environment where there's no flexibility. And that goes, I think that goes either way. The ones who are coming in now, the Alpha and the Gen Z, and equally now for the older generations, the millennials and everybody else. So a sense of flexibility going both ways. Yeah. Yes. And also I'm hearing the need for the current workplace manager to be able to see beyond the roles that they are issuing to the employee. Who are they as a human being? What's going on in their life? And I want to bring in something that sometimes people are normally told, once you get to the place of work, you separate who you are as a person or what's going on in your personal life. And now when you go to work, you report as the as you report there to work. Then now when you leave in the evening or wherever it is that you leave, now you can go back to your personal issues. And I want us to imagine, because the workplace is dynamic. Each sector has its own dynamics. Are there some sectors that are likely to be prone to maybe more stress or more mental health issues as compared to others? And what does somebody do about that?
Yes, there are some sectors. If you look at industries or these private sectors where you have to meet certain targets, it can be stressing.
Okay.
Because you see, these people don't even have the 8 to 5. Sometimes they can report earlier if it's a company that is doing operations and they have to supply to customers probably by 8. Imagine you are selling bread. So you can't come to sell it at 10. You have to sell it very early before people take the breakfast. So the nature of operations would affect mental health.
Okay.
And therefore, it's important for every employee to know their sector.
Okay.
To know how do we do here.
Yes.
And then you develop coping mechanisms.
Yes.
How you can be able to cope.
Yes.
Because we need the job.
Yes.
You need the family.
Yes.
You need the money. You need all those.
Yes.
So it is you to understand the sector you are working in and its demands. And then now you develop healthy coping mechanisms so that you're not very stressed.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's no area that is not stressing.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And I've picked the aspect of having coping mechanisms that you become aware, this is the sector I am in. This is the dynamic about the place I am in. Some are required to be away from their home for maybe even a longer, more than even a week, more than even a month. And you have, as you said, you need the money to supply for the family needs. You need the family as part of your growth as a person. So being able to realistically know this is the sector I am in, and these are the things which inform this sector. And therefore, this is how I will cope with it. Okay, okay. So from your experience and knowledge as a HR professional, what is one thing you wish people would know and would take seriously that it would help their workplace?
Both employees and employers.
Or even you can separate it.
Yes. So one thing that people need to know is work is work and personal life is personal life.
Okay.
They can't be blended.
Okay.
So it is you to know how to strike a balance.
Okay.
Because you need a satisfied life. Because if you overdo one and the others are not there, then you happen to have a gap. And that would cause you stress because we are social beings. So we need all those aspects. And me, what I would say is the self-awareness bit is very critical for the young, for the old, for every person. Know who are you? What do I want? Where should my energy directed to? Where should be my time spent after work? All that is very, very important.
Okay.
Yes, and we have to know how to let people be and concentrate on selves.
Okay.
Yes, because that alone can give you stress. When you look at my friend, works from 8 to 1, me, I work from 8 to an individual. Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Susan. I think in summary, for me, I would hear the point of really being self-aware, even in the workplace, and knowing who you are as a person. And as you've said at the end, let people be, meaning not comparing or being carried by other people's way of work. Yes.
Yeah, because you see, even if you do all the work, even if you do most tasks, the company doesn't belong to you. It belongs to other people. And one thing I picked from the book of Mel Robbins, because it talks about letting them be, is even if you do whatever you want to do in this world, people will always find faults. And therefore, he says, direct your time and energy for you.
Okay.
And that really helped me because sometimes you carry so much burdens for people. And I used to be that person who I want things to be perfect. I want to help here and here. And he says, yes, you can do all that. But eventually you'll be drained and you'll be stressed because people may not recognize that you're doing it for them. They still find fault. So he says, direct your time, your energy, and your precious resources to what builds you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed having this session with you and equally learned a lot. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you as well. I've also enjoyed being here and sharing knowledge. I look forward to more engagements. Thank you so much.
Sawa. Thank you so much for joining us today. That marks the end of our session on workplace mental health. My key takeaway was letting them be, meaning you are aware of yourself and you work with what you've got, your capacity and the workplace dynamics you have, understanding them and knowing how to work with that. So see you next time. Thank you so much.